So about a week or so ago, I started a new series on my channel where I'm talking about the behind the scenes of being a fragrance reviewer. Every week or so, I'm going to be posting one of these videos, maybe every 2 weeks, and talking about a different category, whether it was last week's, which was actually starting the channel, or this week's is editing. So I'm going to be going through and letting you know the whole editing process, at least from my point of view, and I do want to put a cautionary stamp on this that I do mine all from my phone, so there is a lot more that goes on from a computer. I just don't want to spend the time to do that for my channel. With that said, if you're planning on doing a fragrance channel or you have a fragrance channel and you do it mostly from your phone, this is definitely going to be a great tip onto editing, and a lot of editing software on the computer is very similar as well. So today, again, we're going to be doing behind the scenes as a fragrance reviewer, the editing process. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys for joining me for yet another category where I'm going way in depth about being a fragrance reviewer, or really any kind of reviewer. I mean, any niche doesn't really matter, because when you think about it, most of these categories, maybe down the road when I talk about some categories, they might be fragrance based. But like when it comes to starting your channel or editing, anything on YouTube or TikTok, or this is going to be cross niche, because you need to start your channel. You need to have a filming location. You need to have a tripod. You need to have a way to be able to film. And then you have to have a way to be able to edit. So this isn't really just being the behind the scenes of being a fragrance reviewer. It's behind the scenes of being any kind of reviewer. Yes, the actual video itself is going to be different, but I gotta say, with all the categories I'm gonna be doing over this next like 4 or 5 month period when I'm doing the series, this is the one that gives the most, and I mean most. There are some that just, they record their video and they post it, but there's a lot of people that edit. And so when I say edit, I don't necessarily mean crop things out. Your main video will still be the same. For me, the only parts of the actual video that I edit are the very beginning. I edit it to where I start, and the end where I end. And that's the only part that I'll actually edit the video, unless like I cough up like Jeremy Fragrance did and have his tonsil stone flying out of his mouth or something, which in that case, I'd probably make it into a short too. With that said, the editing process is the biggest headache, because let's just say last week I was off on Monday and I recorded 14 videos in about an hour and a half. But the editing of that took the rest of the day. It took about 9 hours. So editing is going to be the biggest headache. And I can tell you there's 2 ways to edit. It's either you're going to edit all in one day, which is the smartest part, and then you schedule all of the videos on YouTube. That day you can schedule them out, and then it's a weight off your shoulder for the rest of the week. I do that from time to time whenever I have a lot of time on my hands, and I'll edit and I'll post videos and I'll schedule them out for about 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, I have nothing to do outside of just talk to you guys. You might see more community posts and shorts at that point in time because I have more time on my hands. But it really comes down to, do you have that 8 to 10 hour period to edit? Because if you don't, you're going to be spending every single night or daytime editing that video for that day, which is a pain in the ass, and it makes you not want to do it. This is the category of editing that makes fragrance reviewers not want to, they get burnt out. Let's just say I've been burnt out many times. That's why you'll see me take 2, 3, 4 days off. It's just because I'm burnt out from editing, and that's it. It has nothing to do with a love of fragrance. It's just the editing process itself. So when it comes to the editing process, I am going to be showing you clips of me editing this video to show you differences and how you do the editing process, how you do transitions and stuff like that. So in this video, I am going to go through and show you guys me editing this actual video. So that's why I just did that transition there, to show you a bit of how to do the transition. And so there are 2 main editing apps that are on both Android and iPhone that most people use. I started on Splice, so I use Splice. But there is also CapCut. CapCut is a little bit more expensive. Splice is like $3, $4. CapCut is I believe like $5 or $6, maybe 10. I'm not 100% sure. There are free versions of both, but they're really limiting. The CapCut is better if you like all the fancy transitions and stuff. But if you want safe, quick editing, then Splice is going to be the name of the game. While you do still need with Splice some outside free things to do. And then you also need a thumbnail maker as well. So now starting the editing process. So again, I'll show you parts of editing this video itself. But first, I want to let you know that if you want to remove the background of any picture, so let's say that you need, like right down here, I'll put a bottle, or I'll put it up here. I'll put a bottle of some fragrance, and I need that background removed. And so what I have to do is there's either remove.bg or I think it's remove.ai or AI remover. I'll show it on the screen, obviously. And then what you do is you take a picture from Google, they crop that background behind the bottle, and then obviously now you have, and when I started my channel, I had the white outline, which just looked horrible, and I didn't know what to use. Well, honestly, it's just built into Safari or Google or whatever you're using, and then just put the picture in, crop the bottle out. And so what I do is before every video, I go through, and if I have, let's say, a top 10 list, I'll go through and I'll save 10 pictures of 10 bottles. I'll crop them all out, and then I'll also take like a nice background photo so that I can use it whenever I'm introducing a fragrance. For instance, let's say I'm introducing this. This is Halfeti Black Rose by Zaharoff. If I wanted to introduce that, and let's say I'm sitting there saying, all right, so the next one is going to be Zaharoff's Halfeti Black Rose. It will come up on the screen, and then what I would do is I go to an app called Canva. And so Canva is free, and I just go in and I put the picture of the Zaharoff Black Rose that I already saved, and then I type on the front the name Zaharoff Halfeti Black Rose, and then I go and I'll change the way that it's the words are popping at you, whether it's, if I do like a note breakdown, like top notes, this, I'll do like pan or rise so that it looks more like a list. But if it's something like the title of a fragrance or the name of a fragrance, I'll have it, it's called Breathe, where it's really just popping at you. There's another way that I can do this where, again, I'll show you again, is I'll actually just take the picture that is on the website of the bottle, if it says like Halfeti Black Rose already on it, and inside Splice, I'll just go on there and I will click the animate button, and then there's the Ken Burns, which just means that it's an animation. And then you click on that, and then you set the beginning and the end. And so the beginning would just be however you set the picture up, and the end will be it either coming forward or going out or turning or whatever it might be. And that's another way to animate a picture and do a nice transition. Speaking of transitions, again, whenever I just did that transition here, I will do another one. So we're going to now be talking about transitions. And so transitions are really simple, to be honest with you. I mean, you usually need them before you're in between your intro to your actual page intro, which is like the music and stuff like that. You also need it in different parts. Let's just say, again, I have a tonsil stone and I cough it up like Jeremy Fragrance, or I'm moving from one fragrance to the next and my wife comes walking in the door, stuff like that. I can easily transition it out. You just need to choose the right transition. Whenever you're mid-video, mid-roll videos, it's called mid-roll. When you're not in the beginning or the end, it's called mid-roll. When you're mid-roll, it's a lot easier just to do a simplistic transition, whether it's zoom in, zoom out, fade, flash, lens flare, something like that. But if you're going from the intro to the actual video intro, then you can do like a spinning one or something more advanced. With that said, it's not even that difficult, really, especially when you need to add music. Again, if you need like a larger music bank, like I use the same, it's called Constellation. It is the music clip that I use for the back of my video. And so what I do is whenever I start every video, I crop it to the very where I start talking. And then I start to paste in the music. The music clips in Splice are about 1 minute to 2 minutes long. And so I'll go through and I'll put the clip in, and then I will then duplicate that clip and then adjust the volume so that the music's not too loud, but you can still hear it in the background. So the music part is pretty simplistic. I mean, you just need to make sure that it's all the way to the end and that it's cropped out. If you have music at any other part in your video, you want to make sure that you delete that part of your actual background music so that it's not blending with the other music that you're using. If you ever need to use like a video on top of the actual video that you're using, for instance, if I want to show, like, if I'm talking about the note of strawberries and I want to just show somebody picking strawberries or strawberry bushes, I go to YouTube, I'll screenshot a video and do like a 5-second screen share of like a strawberry field or something like that. And then all I do is put overlay. And in Splice, I'll hit overlay, and then all of a sudden, it'll let me pick that video, and then I can put it on top.
Everyone has a plumbus in their home. First, they take the dinglebop, and they smooth it out with a bunch of schleem. The schleem is then repurposed for later batches. They take the dinglebop, and they push it through the grumbo, where the fleeb is rubbed against it. It's important that the fleeb is rubbed, because the fleeb has all of the fleeb juice. Then, a shlami shows up, and he rubs it, and spits on it. They cut the fleeb. There's several hizzards in the way. The blamps rub against the chumbles, and the glubus and grumbo are shaved away. That leaves you with a regular old plumbus. I always wondered how plumbuses got made.
They're still updating it, so I can't wait until they'll do a transition into that, because that'd be really nice where I can like swing that into the video or something. That's more of what you can do on CapCut. I'm also thinking about joining CapCut. Not 100% sure because I'm pretty happy with what I do. There's also a lot of people that always ask me whenever they become a reviewer, how do I put the like, subscribe, comment button onto the channel? Well, the thing is that you don't get one built through YouTube until you hit like 50,000 subscribers where it's actually a clickable thumbs up, where they are a clickable subscribe button where they can click your logo and it'll subscribe. You don't get that until you get higher in subscribers. So the only way to really do it is inside of your editing software. You go and you choose the best one. So I'll go here and I'll choose stickers, and then I'll type in subscribe. It'll pop up, and then I'll put it on the screen. And there's no built-in noise, at least for Splice. There might be for other like CapCut or whatnot. But with Splice, there is no actual noise. So what I'll go and I'll do noises, and I'll go down to cartoon, and then I'll hit ding low, and then I'll just adjust it so that it looks like it was all one big animation with sound. Back to my channel, my name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys for joining me for yet another category where I'm going. So that's the best way to be able to do that. I know that's a little bit tricky for someone who doesn't do editing at all. There's a few other things that you can easily do. It's just, it all depends on what you like to do in Splice, what type of edits you want to be able to do. In CapCut, again, there's more transitions. Like if you want to make the words fly across the screen, you can do that in CapCut. They don't have that in Splice, at least not at this point in time, and I honestly don't give a crap about that. It's not really a detriment to my editing. I mean, I'm just reviewing fragrances, so it's not that huge of a deal. So really the last part of the process is saving the actual video. So you can choose what file and format you want. You can have the Ultra 4K HD. You can have the Full HD. That's what I use mostly because Ultra 4K HD takes up like 5-6 gigabytes on your phone. It's crazy. And the rest of them you don't even want to use. It takes probably on Splice for the Full HD, I would say it takes 2 minutes. For the Ultra HD, it's about 14 to 15 minutes. And then what you do again is you go and you want to make your thumbnail. So I use free thumbnail maker, which is just on the iPhone, and it's built in. And the only thing you had to pay for is to remove the background, which actually that sucks on that app. So all you do is go to, again, like I said, remove.bg or remove.ai, and it will remove the picture of the bottles that you want. And then also you want to put a picture of yourself on there. Feel free to just remove the background like I will do right now. And then all you do is you put your picture on that. You choose one of their built-in backgrounds or one background that's not copywritten through the Google website. Post it into there. Hit image, pull up your bottle that you want to be on the screen, Put an explosion in the background if you want to. If you want it to be more minimalist, you can do that. If you want it to be more challenging, do that. And then you can choose the type of font you want to have, and what you want to have at least like 2 to 3 words that are going to explain or drive people to your video. Also, you want to use brighter pictures, more vibrant pictures, ones that are going to pop out. And then also, if you're using a picture of yourself, make sure that it is a clear HD picture, because that actually does affect the algorithm. And then the last part is then saving that thumbnail, going into YouTube, and actually posting the video. Again, sometimes you have to do this by yourself and post all the videos at once if you've edited all of them at once. But for me, I like to do thumbnail, edit the video, thumbnail, edit the video, like 4 or 5 different videos, and then I'll go and schedule them all at the same time. So this is how you do it. You go into YouTube, you choose the file that you want. You either want a full-length video or you want a short. So I'll put video, and then I'll click this box, choose the thumbnail that I just made. I'll put in whatever title. The best way to do a title is just to put what you're trying to drive the audience towards, whether it's top 5 summer bangers, or this is a new release, Ralph Lauren Polo 67, and then put something to separate them, usually a colon or a dash or whatever it might be, and then a little bit of information about your thoughts. So another summer banger, question mark, whatever it might be. And then in the description, I usually copy the title, put it in the description. Below that, you can create timestamps. To be able to create timestamps, this is how you do it. You just, let's say you have a top 5 list. And what you would do is you would put intro, then you would put a dash, 00:00, and then the next one, whatever your first, let's say the first fragrance out of the 5 was most wanted. I would look at my video and I would see what time I start talking about most wanted. Let's say it's 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Then I would say Azzaro the most wanted, and then dash 02:25. And then at the end of the day, once I do all 5 of those, it will show up. You can do that for, let's say, presentation, scent profile, and then at the end you want to have the performance. You could do that for timestamps as well. But the timestamps are going to show up on the actual video as places that people can see and actually move their cursor to be able, if they don't want to see the intro and all that. Then you want to do your description. Again, your description after the timestamp. I already have one saved in my notes, so I always expect that you should too. For me, what I like to do is I have a lot of my favorite sites I like to use. I'll put like the top 10 or the top site for niche fragrances, and then I'll put venba.com. And then I'll have all of my other sites that my favorite discounters to use. And then at the bottom, you want to put some hashtags having to do with the video. I always put and there's some that are saved. I'll put hashtag fragrance. If it's about Ralph Lauren, hashtag Ralph Lauren. And then if it's a live stream, hashtag live stream. You always want to make sure you at least have 3, because those will pop up as the main ones, and you want to make sure those are the main hashtags you use. But I would say stick around 8 to 10 is about the max you want to use. You don't want to do any more than that, because then it just becomes pointless. And then you can schedule the video out by going to where it says private, hit public, and then schedule it. Let's say I want to schedule it for 2:45 on Wednesday. 2:45 Wednesday, you guys get it. And then once the video is actually saved, you go into YouTube Studio, you hit monetization, you hit yes. If you're over 1,000 subscribers, that will allow you to get the ad money towards your channel. And then you go to YouTube Studio through the website, and then you can adjust where those mid-roll ads are. I didn't know if you guys know that, but YouTube puts them at the beginning and the end. But the ones that are in the mid-roll, I can adjust. I can either put them, I can not put them. So if you are seeing ads in the mid-roll, they are from me. But that's just because, I mean, if you're having a channel and you can make some money, why not? And so we're going to do another transition, because I forgot to tell you guys that shorts are the same thing. If you want to do a short, it's the exact same thing. What you do is you go into Splice, and instead of hitting the landscape YouTube video, you hit TikTok, and it will make it into a portrait video. Again, same thing. Music, edits, they're all the exact same. That's why I honestly forgot because it's pretty much the same outside of switching the beginning. But yeah, that is what you do for shorts. And then when you're posting it to YouTube, the monetization is automatic. You don't have to do any of those end roll stuff. It's automatic, and then you just add your music when you're going into YouTube. It'll say what music do you want as your background. So yeah, that's for shorts. But if you guys have any other questions, that's the gist of it, and this is probably going to be a 16-minute video, and I apologize. We do have a couple other categories coming up, but I honestly don't know what they are yet, so I will let you guys know. Make sure if you like this type of video that you hit the like button, you comment below, let me know that you like it, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.